Welcome back, YouTube. So, in tonight's video, we're going to take a deeper look into price action, look at pools of liquidity, and kind of see what's going on with Dogecoin's recent run to like the heavens. It's putting up some impressive candles, and I wanted to take a deeper look at it and kind of see what's going on in between the candles as well. What you're looking at right here is Bookmap. You're looking at the pools of liquidity. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with this program, you can see pretty much where the buy and the sell orders are and which ones are dominating within that time frame. This is live price action. So in a nutshell, it works similar to candles. The green balls are buy orders coming in. The red balls are sell orders coming in. And as you can see, there's a lot of selling pressure starting to form into Dogecoin. They're literally trying to basically stop it from getting to around the 7 cent. And you're going to find out why. We're going to take a look here at the charts here in a moment to see. But anything above the current trend is basically selling pressure. So this right here, anything above it is going to be selling pressure to try and push the coin down. And as you can see here, there's a lot of sell orders coming in at around 6.7, 6.78, and really just trying to build momentum here to push Dogecoin down. I checked a few moments ago. I'll check again while we're live at the shorts, but at that time, shorts did not appear to be playing a major factor in this price action. But you'll see here, this dark red is sell orders. So what you're seeing here is a lot of selling pressure here, literally trying to prevent this run Dogecoin is on to hit 7 cent. And you can even see here, you see where the live price action is. We're at around 674 roughly. Look here, and right before you get to 769, 692, there's already sell orders in place to try and prevent it from hitting 7 cent. But overall, the amount of buy orders and stuff that's coming in, Doge is building up a floor at around like 6.6. Yeah, like 6.6. Very strong floors around there, 6.68. So you're literally watching a battle unfold here and this is, I guess you can kind of call it the battle of 7 cent, because you'll see here the buy orders here are already coming in. They're being very, very aggressive to try and put a floor underneath this to stop this selling pressure here that's going on with the pools of liquidity. So I like sharing these platforms because it kind of gives you like a peek behind the scenes so that you can get an idea of what's going on. But you'll see here that this is primarily this drive down that you're seeing here, all these red balls coming in to push price down. This is about that 7 cent level. And again, look, and just updated here, you see an increase here at around 6.9. So that's what this is about. They're trying to lay the foundation here to prevent Dogecoin from hitting 7 cent. And we're going to take a look at the chart. And I believe at around 7 cent, I think that's the where it fills the gap in the current levels, and I think that's going to be a full retracement or a trend reversal from where we currently are. So I think that's very useful when it comes down to tracking future movement of the coin. So I think that let's go ahead and switch over charts here. I'm going to switch to trading view. Okay, so you guys should be able to see that. Yep. Okay, so looking here at the short chart for Doge, as you can see, shorts are pretty much non-existent right now, and we're on a red candle down 2.08%. So if you are suspecting that this is not shorts or BS that's kind of coming into the market, and that this is literally supply and demand taking place in the market right now, you are correct. This is a whale or institution. This is a lot of money that's flowing into the coin right now. This is not shorts or these longs coming in to try and manipulate the coin. This isn't shorts that's pushing down the coins. This is sell orders and stuff that's coming in from obviously either someone with very deep pockets or an institution. So let's take a look here at Doge. And here's where we are right now. We are 673, right? We are literally about a penny and a half away from filling this trend that we started here. We're filling the trough here. Literally, we're about a penny away from filling that trough here and then being at our former level of support, which is right around that 7 cent mark. This is anything above that 7 cent mark. We are out of the, this is why I say this, we're threatening a trend reversal, is because anything above that 7 cent mark, we're out of the 3 tiers that we have here. These 3 tiers are the stops that we have. Well, 3-4 tiers that we are the stops that we have for the bear cycle that we're in right now. Anything above that, we are threatening to go test this wedge here. So last time we broke above the 7 cent mark, we went and tested and around 7.7. Then of course we had the retracement down to like around 6. We came back up and we went and tested again at around 9 cent. So if we do this for a third time, if we technically speaking, if we break above around the 7 cent mark and we were to go test that again, we'd be looking at a roughly around 11 and 3/4. So a little over 11 cent to come and test that mark again. This is the purpose of, this is why I like drawing these wedges and stuff like that when you have 2 tests. It's I find it very important here to kind of get in a scope of a run when you see one. So this is obviously an bullish trend here, but if we were to make this run, we're looking at around 11 cent. So that's something we're going to have to kind of watch as we go into like the weekend to see if we're going to get that break above 7 cent. If we're going to fill that trough here at around like that 6.9 mark and get that next run, because this is, if we break above it, that'll be a very, I don't want to say historic, but it's been a while since we've been up there. Probably since, I want to say like early, what is this? Like since May, right? So it's been a while since we've been up that high, but that's what it's looking like. We are about a penny and a half away from filling the trough here. And I'd say maybe a penny and 3/4 away from around like that 707 mark, which is that last line of support here before we have, I guess you can call it like a breakout or a trend reversal at that point, because we're breaking above the previous support line. And then at that point, yeah, we're due for a run. And technically speaking, we have, yeah, when we break above that, these candles are very, very powerful. Something similar to what, because we've seen momentum like this back in July, right? We typically get this momentum here. We'll have a little battle around 7 cent, which is we're watching a second ago, which is what I'm seeing with Bookmap and the pools of liquidity. So we can have like a slight push off around this 7 cent, and then we typically have a run, like really huge candles here around that mark. So that's something to look forward to see if we're going to break above that 6 cent and 7 cent mark to get that run. So I'm looking, I'll be tracking that for this weekend, obviously keeping track of shorts and stuff like that to make sure that we're not, not coming in to try and set us up like a bull trap or something like that. But looking at price action right now, this is someone with very deep pockets coming in. This is, we can take a look here also at coin market cap, because I don't know if we're at roughly like 10 billion or something right now. Let's see. I'm gonna go back. Where's Dogecoin? Make sure you guys can see this. We are, yep, number 10. We are roughly about 9 billion. Yeah, roughly about 9 billion right now. Almost $1 billion in the last 24 hours. And this, look at the huge gap between number 10 and number 11 Polkadot. We're almost at $1 billion in volume in the last 24 hours. And then Polkadot is 346 million. And I'm not laughing to say that, if you're investing in Polkadot or anything, but I'm just saying, look at the gap between number 10 and number 11 when it comes down to volume. Crazy gap there. So this is obviously like a lot of money being pushed into to Dogecoin. And we're going to have to kind of look at those parameters going forward to kind of get like a scope. But as of right now, looking at the charts, we are looking for first thing to fill this trough here at around 6.8. And then of course obviously we're due for a breakout at around 7 cent, literally like a little over 7 cent. That's when we're due for our breakout, and we should go and test at around like 11. So those are three things to look for going into this weekend. Filling the trough around like 6.8. 7 cent is going to be pretty much like the battleground based off the previous two cycles. We've seen that before. We have these two tests and stuff like that. So, and after that, we're able to get over that hump. We're looking at 11 cent if we continue the chart continue the trend that we've had on the last two tests. So, and at that point, you can kind of just, even at around 10 cent, just kind of keep in mind that you're going to have a lot of swing traders take profit. We were down at around 5, 6 cent. At around 10 or 11 cent, the people who are not long in Doge, they're going to be up almost 100%. So you can expect some people or some, and then not even just shorts coming in, but you can expect some swing traders and stuff like that to kind of take profit around those ranges, because that is typically around 100%. Psychologically, people want to take some of their profit back here just in case of a retracement. And normally it ends up causing a retracement, stuff like that. But that's a different conversation. But it'll be 11 cent is where we're looking at. A 9, 10 cent. You probably see some resistance here, just breaking into double digits, probably even from shorts, to kind of give you like an idea. Is this live? It is in fact live. Yes, it is. Hello, King Drew. But yeah, so that's what to keep in mind for this weekend with Doge. If you are playing the coin, look at if you don't have access to the charts, that's one of the things that you're going to be looking for is shorts, and of course keeping your eye on volume. If you don't have access to the charts, you can keep your eye on volume. Something like Coin Market Cap, that is free for everyone. It updates like typically on the hour in terms of volume, and you'll be able to see a decline in volume that can kind of give you an idea of where the buying pressure is going to be. That's a way to measure it if you don't have any of the like fancy charting tools and stuff like that. Because ultimately, yes, volume is buy and sell orders, but it gives you an idea of the overall momentum in the coin. So that'll be a way to kind of gauge if you're just curious about tracking the momentum going into the weekend. So that is my update on Doge. I will take a few questions and then we will conclude. Before I take questions, obviously, if you're new here, subscribe to the channel for more TA, more information, trading, all that kind of good stuff. We cover a wide variety of topics here. No fluff, hype, or BS. Go to 11 cents. There we go. Love the content. Thanks for the update. No problem. I appreciate you. Any chance of Doge going to 3 cent? Great question. So here's the thing. I do believe that there's room for some coins to have a greater consolidation, even like a Bitcoin and stuff like that. But I do believe, and I said this before, that Doge is closer to max pain than some of these other coins. I'm not saying Doge can't consolidate lower, but I think that we'll have I think that we'll have a lot of buying pressure come in at anything lower than like around 5 cent. And I think that even now, when the way the community gets riled up, even on these runs, I think that you'll see something similar to that when Dogecoin becomes really, really cheap, if it were to get down to that. So even if it did come down to like 5 or 4 cent, normally the buying pressure is so strong that you have like an immediate bounce, and it bounces back up to around 6 cent. I believe 6 cent is its equilibrium that it likes to rest, and it's really hard to short it or push it deeper into that oversold range. So you kind of have to kind of keep that in mind. Hello, how are you? Hope you're well, Paul. Let's see. What do you expect by December Doge will be? Great question. By December, it really just depends on, because again, we have to kind of keep track of like the macros here, because Powell is kind of, he's not threatening the market, but he's pretty much said that they're going to be very aggressive for the rest of the year to get inflation under control. And that does have an effect on the amount of money that institutions and stuff like that push into the market. So, because even now, the reason I say we gotta be okay is because you have to kind of keep in mind that they do things like pump coins and pump stocks and stuff like that to raise money. So, especially if you have a bunch of negative catalysts on the horizon, and the institution says, hey, we need some money, so let's pump XYZ here and get a bunch of people to come in, and all their little signal flashers and trade signals and all that goes off. They all come in, and then we sell from underneath them. So you have to kind of keep that in mind as well when you're doing longer term forecast. But by December, I think now we need another month of the trend here, kind of like with CPI and stuff like that, to kind of get an idea of the trend of the macro market. I think that will reveal to us what the next quarter will look like for stocks and crypto. Crypto technically moves first, but I do believe even at the prices, even at 6 cent, with the amount of shorts and stuff that are in the coin, I do believe that we're consolidating lower than what we should be, what our actual true equilibrium is. So even if we had a rise and we consolidated at a higher level, like 12 to 15 cent, I'd be okay with that. But ultimately, it's going to depend on the macros here, because that's going to be the biggest leading factor with the amount of institutional money that comes into crypto. Let's see. Hit the like button. Thank you. Burn the shorts. Let's see. We were just talking about this. I see no resistance. You're welcome. The blue pill, though. Let's see. Well, let's see. What's your thoughts on the possibility of Doge being proof of stake? I have. I'm really actually working on a video that I'm going to put out about that. Proof of stake versus proof of work. So I'll hold my comment for now, and I'll try and have that video out this weekend. Let's see. Hey, David, what's going on with these 5% spikes? I noticed that at least every week or 2 weeks we get these spikes. It's just shorts are low and buyers are out maneuvering the shorts. Technically, that's a part of it. You can have, when you have low volume, a coin can be easily manipulated, and if the shorts aren't necessarily putting a lot of downward pressure on a coin, you can have a natural takeover of supply and demand. We're close to breaking trend. I went over the numbers if you wanted to kind of play the video back, but we're close to breaking trend. But I can't say that this is like the same thing as far as every 2 weeks. But coins, stocks, and stuff like that, we have these natural cycles that we go through, and we start testing limits and stuff like that, especially if the community is holding, or institutions, bigger money, are taking larger positions in the asset. So the flow of things is more natural. But technically speaking, for the increase, yes, shorts have maintained their level, and this is a lot of buying pressure coming in. So that is the simplest answer to why we're seeing this spike. So that is pretty spot on what you're saying. Are we going to be using those for everyday purchases? When? I don't know when, but I think that we are certainly headed in the right direction. I think that the statement that Doge was a fad, or that was going to fade and stuff like that, I think that sentiment is now gone. I think that people kind of know that Doge is kind of like here to stay. And I think that as we expand and Doge consolidates and stuff like that with the market, and then we have the next run and stuff like that, I think that we'll have more companies that are willing to adopt it as a form of currency, because I think that we're going to have a consolidation of the cryptos in the market overall. I think that a lot of coins that we see now are not going to exist long term. So when we have those coins disappear, we have the coins that have like longevity and the community standing behind them, those coins will move on and to like the second phase of having adoption and being used for purchases and stuff like that. Let's see. Seems like the institutions have been beaten down over the past several days since the Fed decision. Also seems they found a contingent cash cow as Doge is a hedge. Thoughts? Well, I just spoke about that. I said that's something that we kind of have to keep in mind, because and I'm not saying that it's a bull trap, but you have to kind of keep things in mind that they do pump coins and assets to raise money. they certainly will do something like that. They're not above pumping something, trying to bait people in, and then selling from underneath them. We've seen this, for decades, and even more so over the last 3 to 5 years. It's just become habitual. So they can certainly, big money can certainly be trying to raise money. So that's why I always tell people, make sure that you're being strategic with your entries and not simply waiting on the sideline until something increases in price and then say, oh, okay, now I want to buy Doge. I want to buy Doge at 10 cent, but I'm not going to buy it at 5 cent. That's how, the community and people will get in trouble with raising their DCAs and jacking up their portfolios and stuff like that. If this is, if institutions want to pump coins and stuff like that, let them pump it. But it doesn't mean that you chase after the institutions, because ultimately that's what they want. And if we're really, really being honest with ourselves, retail did not get together last night and say, hey, let's put $1 billion in the Dogecoin tomorrow, right? So we know where this money is coming from, right? So we kind of have to keep that in mind here before we start, chasing and stuff like that. So we have to kind of look at the bigger picture. Because I think that Doge overall, they can pump the coin and then try and come in with shorts and stuff like that. But we have to kind of see, okay, well, are we going to break trends? Are we going to consolidate at a higher high? Are they going to back out of the shorts more? Because if we see, them back out of shorts more tomorrow, or a sharp decline in shorts tomorrow, that changes the game, because now we have that amount of buying pressure that's gone, and the coin is going to appreciate even more to a more equilibrium price. So it's just many different things that we kind of have to keep in mind to evaluate where the actual health of the coin and direction of the coin is actually going. Let's see. Billy Marcus wants Dogecoin to go to POS, and since he's one of the advisors and original creators of Dogecoin, also a crybaby. If he doesn't get his way, it's more likely to go to POS. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that. Possibly, I'm going to try and get the video done this weekend. I have like my notes and stuff, so I'm gonna address that this weekend. So I'll keep my comments to myself now on that. But I have been following a lot of the threads and a lot of the comments and profiles and stuff like that on Twitter. So I'm gonna try and get that done this weekend. But I still have like my class and stuff going on, so it's a lot going on. But I'm gonna do my absolute best to have that out this weekend. So, hey, King David, can you explain to us why do people who hate Doge hang out where Doge community is and keep telling them how bad it is? Blah blah blah. I don't. Even outside that, from a psychological standpoint, I don't understand that. That's not something I would do. But you'll be surprised how many times people come to my channel just to tell me, Doge is dead, or why are you still investing in this coin and stuff like. I've had a YouTube channel. Oh my God, probably since, I would say, before I graduated high school, but I had my own YouTube channel since like 2010. And I have yet to look up anything that I wasn't actually interested in just to comment, this is dead, or this is stupid, or you should sell. I do not search for things like that. So from a psychological standpoint, I don't have the answers for that. But, maybe they're bored or just being dicks or something. I don't get it. But, if they truly believe that, then show us your portfolio or something. If you have better ideas, or create your own channel. And that's how I feel about it. Like, if you have better investments and stuff like that, create your own channel and put your research out there. But they're not going to do that. They're just going to spread negativity and hate and stuff like that. So we kind of have to, even with being on platforms and supporting coins and stuff like that, we kind of have to take that with a grain of salt. Drop a like, people. Yes, I appreciate you. Let's see, not to put it out there in the universe, but what's the worst case scenario where you should say yourself, I'm going to exit out of all positions on Doge? My DCA is roughly around like 5%, 5 cent right now. So I don't have like a worst case scenario just yet. The biggest thing that can make me make me give up on Doge is if we lost the community, and I don't see that happening. As long as we have community, we have an opportunity for growth and for use case. So as long as we have the community, I'm long on Dogecoin. So if the community fell apart and we didn't have the community anymore, then at that point, I can see, okay, yeah, this is a huge problem here because we can't get anywhere without it. So that's where the foundation of the coin and the movement is. Where you see Doge going at this point with this little run. I gave the breakdown here, but right now we're looking at around like 6.8 to break to fill the gap here at the trough at around 7 cent. Will break out, and at that point, if we get above that, based off of the last two tests, we're looking at around 11 cent if we were to continue with that trend. How do you justify Dogecoin's market cap of 9 billion? What do you mean justify? Could you elaborate a little more on that? Would you sell Doge if it hits $1? No, not at $1. Doge going to the moon, literally with Elon Musk and SpaceX. There we go. What do you think about the pot stocks? I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with it. They hate on XRP and Cardano platforms. What do you mean? Like they hate on Doge there, or they also do the same thing that they do to like Doge creators and stuff like that? See, I think the trolls are just people that would never say anything to your face, but are brave, then hide behind their monitor. Oh yeah, it's a lot of keyboard warriors out there. It's a lot of keyboard warriors out there. You know, I've told a number of people on my channel, create your channel. Let's see your research. If you know so much, like show us your research. By all means, don't be selfish with all your great knowledge. If you are so intelligent, please put it out there for the world to see so that we can appreciate you and learn from your greatness. Like, don't just leave comments. Like, I feel like you're robbing us all of your genius. Put your research out there. But I've yet to have them do something like that. So, all right, we're at roughly around 30 minutes. So I'll conclude there, and I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. We'll take another look here at pools of liquidity and see where things are heading. Kind of get an update, looking at shorts and stuff to see if anything has changed or if we're on track still to continue this trend and go test for the third time and hopefully hit like around 11 cent. We'll see if we're still on track for that tomorrow. Like the video, share it with a friend. You can check out Moomoo, payment for order flow free trading. Have a link in the description for them, as well as a link to my Patreon so that you can trade with me every week. I have a link down there as well. And I appreciate all of you guys. Enjoy your Friday night, and I will speak with you tomorrow. Have a good night.